Former President Donald Trump drawing condemnation over the weekend for a post that he made on his social media site, Truth Social, that was widely seen as anti-Semitic. Trump wrote that no president had done more for Israel than he has, and he said that evangelicals have been more appreciative for that than American Jews. Now, American Jews, according to Trump, have to, quote, get their act together and appreciate what they have in Israel before it's too late, end quote. Joining us now is the CEO and National Director of the Anti-Defamation League, Jonathan Greenblatt. Jonathan, thank you so much for being with us this morning. First, have to ask you what your response was when you saw Trump's post there saying that American Jews need to get their act together.
Well, it's sort of a mix between ugly and offended and entirely unsurprised. It is bewildering that President Trump, who has Jewish children and Jewish grandchildren, continues to evoke age-old anti-Semitic tropes. He suggests that Jews have dual loyalty. He suggested in the past that Jews are greedy. He suggested in the past that Jews have too much power. All of this is rather confusing, but it is a clear part of a pattern. For someone who has welcomed anti-Semites and extremists into the public conversation, literally mainstreamed them in our politics today. These kinds of anti-Semitic comments, again, altogether shocking, just not surprising.
What do you think he meant before it's too late?
Who knows what President Trump ever means? It is like, there's a whole cottage industry of people trying to parse his words. But whatever's in his head or his heart, I have to deal with anti-Semitism in America today. And the fact of the matter is that in 2021, we saw the highest number of anti-Jewish incidents on record. In the past week, we've had anti-Semitic vandalism at cities across the country. We had a Jewish Orthodox man assaulted in Brooklyn. We have the rapper Kanye West making wild claims about Zionists and Jews. So there is a larger pattern afoot. People are feeling, attacked and hewed in from both sides. It's incredibly concerning. So when the president says, before it's too late, it sounds like a threat in an environment where Jews already feel threatened.
What would you say to the knee-jerk defense that we're going to hear that the former president, moved the embassy in Israel from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem, that, as you mentioned, he has a Jewish daughter and son-in-law and grandchildren who observe the Sabbath, and therefore he cannot be anti-Semitic?
Come on. I mean, look, I was there at the opening of the embassy, and I think there were some things that the president did that were certainly right, but that doesn't excuse this wrong and so many others. I mean, the reality is anti-Semitism isn't, if you will, the domain of just one political party. We have anti-Semites on the right and on the left. We have progressives and conservatives. But here today, right now, what we need is for people, irrespective of, how they vote or what political party they affiliate with, to say once and for all, this is wrong. We need not just Jews, but our non-Jewish allies to recognize that in this moment, Jewish people are feeling besieged. And when the former president of the United States makes, if you will, an unveiled threat, don't excuse that by hearkening back to policy things it may have done years ago. Right here, right now, where Christian nationalists are running for office, where anti-Zionists are running for office, where popular rappers and entertainers evoke anti-Jewish, tropes with impunity.
Well, Jonathan,
people in all political stations should say it's wrong.
Can I ask you about that? Because you mentioned now Kanye West twice. I mean, he went on this anti-Semitic diatribe, and now he is saying that he plans to acquire Parler, which is, of course, this conservative social media platform, favored by many conservatives anyway. What do you think of that, of him having perhaps that platform or championing that platform?
Look, Parler is a haven of hate. It's a cesspool of bigotry that resembles 4chan a lot less than Facebook. So let's be clear. If he wants to invest his money in Parler, God bless him. I can't imagine that's going to change the game very much. The reality is, when Kanye West distorts the Holocaust and claims that Planned Parenthood is this people's Holocaust museum, I mean, give me a break. That is galling, that is ugly, and it's just wrong. So, Brianna, I think what's understated in what you're asking, or sort of implicit, is we have a problem with social media, which amplifies the worst voices. And if Elon Musk wants to acquire Twitter, I mean, I would hope he would finally exercise some responsibility and try to curb the prejudice and, and dial down the heat. Because at this point in time in America today, when we're more polarized than ever, when Jews and Asian Americans and other minorities, again, are feeling under siege, we need all responsible people to exercise some discretion once and for all.
And Elon Musk had said that he reached out to Kanye West and had a talk with him, and that he understood now his comments. Not that that's exactly a model for Twitter going forward. Jonathan Greenblatt, you are absolutely right. These are incredibly disturbing comments at a very dangerous time. We really appreciate your perspective. Jonathan Greenblatt from the Anti-Defamation League.
Thank you.
Take care.